107. Okay, and
7.
last head
Okay.
word was intangible. Okay,
Tangible.
so
Okay.
let's pick up from where we ended. Okay, let me scroll down. Okay, here we go. First question.
Okay.
How do you think the government should level the playing field for children growing up in your country?
Your
How
country.
do you think the government could level the playing field for children growing up in your country? I think the government
I think the
could
government
level the playing
should
field
level the playing
for
field
children
for
growing up in
children
my
growing
country
up in my
by
country
investing more
by
on them.
investing more on them.
Very good. In your country, what do you call the interest rate that is set by the central bank? In your country, what do you call the interest rate that is set by the central bank? In my country,
In my
we
country,
call the
we call
interest
the
rate.
interest.
I'm sorry. In my country,
In my
we
country,
call the
we
interest
call the
rate
interest
that is
rate
set by the
that's
central
set
bank,
by the central bank.
uh, base rate.
Okay, pay
Base
in
rate.
base rate.
Very
Okay.
good. One more. In my country,
In
we
my
call the
country, we
interest rate
call the interest
that is
rate
set by the
that is
central
set
bank
by the central
base
bank
rate.
base rate.
Very good. What effect would it have on consumer spending in the UK if the Bank of England dramatically raised the base rate? What effect would it have on consumer spending in the UK if the Bank of England dramatically raised the base rate? If the Bank of England
If the Bank of
dramatically
England
raised the
dramatically
base
raises
rate,
the base
consumer
rate,
spending would
consumer
plummet.
spending would plummet
Why? Why? Because
because
interest rates would
interest rate
rise across
would
the
rise
board,
across the
and
board,
this would cause
and this would
consumers
cause
to borrow
consumers
less and
to
save
borrow
more.
less and save more.
Very good. What do we mean by the term parent company? What do we mean by the term parent company? By the term
By the
parent
term
company,
parent
we mean
company,
a
we
company
mean a
that
company
owns or
that
has
owns
control
or has
over
controls
one or
over
more other
one or
businesses.
more other businesses.
Very good. Can a parent company inject money into a subsidiary to prevent it from going bust? Can a parent company inject money into a subsidiary to prevent it from going bust? Yes, a
Yes,
parent company
a parent
can
company
inject money
can inject
into a
money
subsidiary
into a
to prevent
subsidiary
it from
to
going
prevent
bust.
it from
Going bust.
going bust. Okay.
Very good. When a company is recruiting new staff, what's the difference between an applicant and a candidate? When a company is recruiting new staff, what's the difference between an applicant and a candidate? When a company is
When a
recruiting
company
new
is
staff,
recruiting new
the
staff,
difference between
the difference
applicant
between
and a candidate, one more.
applicant and candidate.
When a company is
When a
recruiting
company
new
is
staff,
recruiting new
the
staff,
difference between
the
an
difference
applicant
between
and
an
a candidate
applicant and a
is that
candidate
an applicant
is that
is
an
anyone
applicant
who
is
submits
someone who submits
an application for
an
a particular
application
job,
for a particular job,
whereas a candidate
whereas a
is an
candidate
applicant that
is
the
an applicant
company has
that the
decided
company has
is worth
decided
interviewing.
is worth interviewing.
If you were shortlisted for a vacancy, would you be pleased or disappointed? If you were shortlisted for a vacancy, would you be pleased or disappointed? If I were
If
shortlisted
I were
for a
shortlisted
vacancy,
for a
I'd be
vacancy,
pleased.
I'd be pleased.
Very good. What do the letters AGM stand for? What do the letters AGM stand for? The letters
The letters
AGM
AGM
stand for
stands for
annual general
annual
meeting.
general meeting.
Are shareholders in a company obliged to attend AGMs? Are shareholders in a company obliged to attend AGMs? No.
No,
Shareholders in a
shareholders
company
in my
aren't
company
obliged to attend
to
AGMs
aren't obliged
to attend.
to
One
attend.
more. No.
No,
Shareholders in a company
shareholders in a
aren't
company
obliged
aren't
to
obliged
attend
to
AGMs,
attend AGM,
although they have the right
although
to
they
do
have the
so.
right to do so.
Very good. Tell me a few things you'd expect to happen during an AGM. Tell me a few things you'd expect to happen during an AGM. During an AGM,
During an
I'd
AGM,
expect
I'd
auditors
expect
to be
the auditors
appointed,
to be
accounts to
appointed,
be approved,
accounts to be
dividends,
sorry,
accounts to be approved,
accounts to be approved.
dividends to be declared,
Sorry.
dividends to be
Okay.
declared,
Dividends to be declared,
etc.
etc.
Very good. One more.
Okay.
During an AGM,
During an
I'd
AGM,
expect
I'd
auditors to
expect
be
auditors
appointed,
to be appointed,
accounts to be approved,
account to be approved,
dividends to be
dividends
declared,
to be declared,
etc.
etc.
What do the letters EGM stand for? What do the letters EGM stand for? The letters
The letters
EGM stand
EGM
for
stands for
Extraordinary General Meeting.
Extraordinary General Meeting.
When might a board of directors organize an EGM? When might a board of directors organize an EGM? A board of
A
directors
board of
might
directors
organize
might
an
organize
EGM
an
when
EGM
there's an
when
important
there's an
matter
important
that
matter
needs resolving
that needs
before
resolving
the next
before the
AGM
next
is
AGM
scheduled to take
is
place.
scheduled to take place.
Very good. Okay. As a boss, how would you feel if your best employee handed in their notice? As a boss, how would you feel if your best employee handed in their notice? As a boss,
As a
I'd
boss,
feel
I'd feel disappointed
if my best
if my
employee
best employee
handed in their notice.
handed in their notice,
Why? Why? Because?
because uh, I should um, I should consider the alternative person of him.
Very
It's
good. His
hard.
replacement. Very good.
Yeah.
Next, give me an example of the expression to cut the middleman. Give me an example of the expression to cut the middleman by organizing
By
our
organizing
holiday
our
ourselves.
holiday
We
ourselves,
cut out the
we
middleman
cut out
and
the
save
middleman
hundreds of
and save
pounds.
hundreds of pounds.
Where if we buy a product directly from a manufacturer, who are the middlemen we're cutting out? If we buy a product directly from a manufacturer, who are the middlemen we're cutting out? If we buy a
If we
product
buy a product
directly from a
directly
manufacturer,
from a
the
manufacturer,
middlemen we're
the
cutting out
middleman, the middleman we are
w-
cutting out
are the wholesaler
are the
and the
wholesaler
retailer.
and the retailer.
Very good. What does it mean if a company has the letters LTD written after its name?
After its
What
name.
does it mean if a company has the letters LTD written after its name? If a company
If a
has the
company
letters
has the
LTD
letters LTD
written after its name,
written after its
it
name,
means
it
that it's
means
a limited
that it's
company.
a limited company.
Very good. If a limited company fails, can the personal assets of its shareholders be seized in order to pay off the company's debts?
Company's
If a
debts.
limited company fails, can the personal assets of its shareholders be seized in order to pay off the company's debts? No. If a
No,
limited
if
company
a limited
fails,
company
the
fails,
personal
the
assets
personal
of its
assets of
shareholders
its
can't be
shareholders
seized
can't be
in
seized
order to pay
in
off
order to
the
pay off
company's
the
debts.
company's debts.
What do we call the people responsible for running a limited company? What do we call the people responsible for running a limited company? We call the people
We call the people
responsible for running
responsible for
limited
running
company
limited company
directors.
director.
In everyday English, when might people choose to use the word corporation instead of company?
Instead of a
In
company.
everyday English, when might people choose to use the word corporation instead of company?
Instead of
In
company.
everyday English,
In everyday
people
English,
might choose
people
to
might choose
use the
to
word
use the
corporation
word corporation
instead of company
instead of a
when
company
they're talking
when there
about
is
a very
talking
large
about a
company.
very large company.
Greg, what are the advantages of leasing high-tech equipment for the workplace rather than buying it?
Buying
What
it.
are the advantages of leasing high-tech equipment for the workplace rather than buying it? The advantages
The
of
advantage
leasing
of
high-tech
leasing
equipment
high-tech
for the
equipment
workplace
for the
rather
workplace
than buying it
rather than buying
are
it,
that we don't have
that
to
we don't
pay
have
for it
to pay for it
upfront, and we can
upfront,
exchange
and we can't
the
exchange
equipment for
the
machinery
equipment for
with better
machinery with
specifications
better
later
specifications
on.
later on.
Where if you made an online purchase but received no payment confirmation email, what could you do?
What could
If
you
you
do?
made an online purchase but
What
received no payment confirmation email, what could you do? If I made an
if I
online
made an
purchase
online
but
purchase
received
but
no
receive
payment
no
confirmation,
payment
I
confirmation?
could contact the
I could
company's
contact the
customer
company's
service help desk
customer service help
via
desk
its website
via its
or
website
phone its customer
or phone
service
its
helpline
customer service helpline
Very good. Which do you think is a better perk for employers to offer their staff? A
Offer their staff.
subsidized canteen or a subsidized gym membership? Which do you think is a better perk for employers to offer their staff? A subsidized canteen or a subsidized gym membership? I think a
I think
subsidized
a subsidized canteen
is a better perk
is a
for
better perk
employers to
for
offer their
employers to
staff
offer their
than a
staff
subsidized
than a
gym
subsidized
membership.
gym membership.
Why? Why do you think so? Because
Because most employees can use canteen uh, most of most of the every day,
most, almost every day.
almost every day. Okay,
Very good. Okay, they use the canteen almost every day. Okay, next.
almost every day. Okay.
Name an industry in your country that receives subsidies from the government. Name an industry in your country that receives subsidies from the government, please. The name of
The
an
name
industry
of one
that
industry
receives
that
subsidies
receives
from the
subsidies
government
from the
is
government
the
is agricultural industry.
very good. Okay, next. Is it more common to send a business memo to an individual or a group of people? Is it more
So,
common to send a business memo to an individual or a group of people? It's more common
it's
to
more
send
common
a business
to
memo
send a business
to a
memo
group of
to
people.
a group of people.
Name some common reasons for writing a memo. Name some common reasons for writing a
For
memo,
writing a
please.
memo.
Some common
Some
reasons
common
for
reasons
writing a
for
memo
writing a
are to
memo
provide
are to
a
provide
report on activities
our report on activities
or events,
or events,
announce the news,
announce the
make
news,
a request,
make request,
etc.
etc.
Where are business memos normally used for internal or external correspondence? Are
Correspondence.
business memos normally used for internal or external correspondence? Business memos
Business
are normally
memos
used
are
for
normally used
internal
for
correspondence.
internal correspondence.
Very good. When deciding on the appropriate style for a memo, what kind of things should we consider? When
After,
describing on the appropriate style for a memo, what kind of things should we consider? When considering
when
the
considering
appropriate
the
style for a
appropriate
memo,
style for
we
a
should
memo,
consider
we should
who we're
consider
writing to,
who we're writing
the
to,
nature of the message,
the nature of a message,
etc.
etc.
How long is the average memo? How long is the average memo? The average memo
The average
is no
memo
more
is
than one
no
page
more
long.
than
One page long.
one page long.
One more. The average memo
The average
is no
memo
more
is
than
no
one
more
page long.
than one page long.
Right? If we don't deliver a memo as hard copy, how can we send it? If we don't deliver a memo as hard copy, how can we send it? If we don't deliver
If
a
we don't
memo
deliver
as
a
hard
memo
copy,
as a hard
we can
copy,
send it
we can
in
send
an
it
email,
in an
either
email,
as body text
either as a body
or
text
more usually
or
as
more
an
usually
attachment.
as an attachment.
We get what should appear at the top of a memo. What should appear at the top of the memo? The title,
The
memorandum,
title,
or memo
memorandum or
should
memo,
appear at the
should
top of
appear
the
at the
memo.
top of the memo.
What should we put below this on the left hand side? What should we put
So
below this on the left hand side? We should put
we should
to,
put
from,
do
date,
from
and subject lines. One
sorry
more.
to
We should put
from. We should put
to,
to
from,
from
date, and
date
subject lines
and subject
below
line
this on the
below
left
this
hand
on
side.
the left hand side.
Where at the start, do we use greetings or just go straight into the first paragraph? At the start, do we use a greeting or just go straight into the first paragraph? At the start,
At the
we just
start,
go straight
we just go
into the
straight
first paragraph.
into the first paragraph.
Very good. Where should our most important message appear? Where should our most important message appear? Our most
Our most
important message
important
should
message
appear in the
should
first
appear
paragraph.
in the first paragraph.
How can we ensure that the memo is easy to read? How can we ensure that the memo is easy to read?
To
We
read,
can ensure
we can
that a
ensure
memo is
that the
easy to
memo is
read
easy to
by
read
avoiding
by
long,
avoiding
complex
long,
sentences
complex
and
sentences
keeping
and
paragraphs
keeping a paragraph
fairly short.
fairly short.
Do we put our name at the end of a memo? Do we put our name at the end of a memo? No. We don't
No,
put our
we don't
name
put our
at the
name
end of a
at
memo.
the end of a memo.
Very good. What did happen if a factory operated at full capacity for a long time with no
Time,
maintenance? What did
production,
happen if a factory operated at full capacity for a long time with no maintenance?
no
If a
maintenance.
factory
If a
operated
factory
at full
operated
capacity
at full
for a
capacity
long time
for a long
with
time
no maintenance,
with no
the
maintenance,
machinery would
the
break down.
machinery would break down.
Very good. Is it important for you that you manage to climb to the top of the corporate ladder during your career?
Rather than
Is it
career.
important for you that you manage to climb to the top of the corporate ladder during your career? Yes or no?
No,
It isn't
it
important
isn't
for me
important for
that I
me
manage to
that
climb
I managed
to the
to
top
climb
of the
to the top
corporate ladder
of the corporate ladder
during my career.
during my career.
Very good. What would you say were the core competencies of a company such as Rolls-Royce? What would you say were the core competencies of a company such as Rolls-Royce? I'd say
I'd
that the
say
core
that the core
competencies of a
competencies
company
of a
such as
company such
Rolls-Royce
as
were
Rolls-Royce
leadership,
were leadership,
commitment, and
commitment,
accountability.
and accountability.
Very good. Okay, give me another example of the word core. Give me another example of the word core, please. Managing to
Managing
offer
to
state-of-the-art
offer
features
state of the art features
at features.
at the features.
One more. Managing to offer
Managing to
state-of-the-art
offer state of
features
the art
at
features
affordable
at
prices
affordable
is a core
prices is
challenge
a
for
core
mobile
challenge
phone
for
manufacturers.
mobile phone manufacturers.
Regard, how would you feel if you were headhunted by a company? How would you feel if you were headhunted by the company? If I were headhunted
If I were
by a
headhunted
company,
by a
I'd
company,
feel
I'd feel excited
why? Why? Because
because if I were headhunted by some company, I there is a possibility to get a high salary.
very good, high offer, very good. Next, if a national government announces a significant drop in corporation tax, what's the effect might the news have? If a national government announced a significant drop in corporation tax, what effect might the news have? If a national
If a
government
national
announced
government
a
announces
significant
a
drop
significant
in
drop
corporation
in
tax,
corporation tax,
multinational businesses
multinational
might
businesses
consider
might
relocating
consider
their
relocating
headquarters
their
to that
headquarters
country.
to the country.
Levels of investment
Levels of
in the
investment
country
in
might
the
begin
country
to
might
increase,
begin to increase,
etc.
etc.
Very good. What do you think the main short term objective should be for the government of your country? What do you think the main short term objective should be for the government of your country? I think
I
the
think
main short
the
term
main
objective
short-term
for the
objective
government of
for
my
the government
country
of my
should
country
be
should be short-term executive.
short term
Short, short-term, wait a moment, short-term executive.
executive. Very good. Okay. In job interviews, why are candidates often asked about their long term objectives? In job interviews, why are candidates often asked about their long term objectives? In job interviews,
In job interviews,
candidates are often
candidates
asked
are often
about
asked
their long term
about their
objectives
long-term objectives
because companies
because
need to
companies
know how
need to know
ambitious
how
candidates
ambitious
are,
candidates are,
whether it's worth investing
whether it's
time
worth
and
investing
money
time
in training
and
them,
money in training them,
etc.
etc.
Very good.
Okay.
Give me an example of the idiom show somebody the ropes. Give me an example of the idiom show somebody the ropes, please. On his first day,
On his
the new
first day,
receptionist
the new
looked
receptionist
really lost.
looked really
So I
lost,
spent some
so
time
I spent some
showing
time
him the ropes.
showing him the ropes.
Very good. What are the advantages of a flexi time work schedule? What are the advantages of a flexi time work schedule? The
The
advantages of a
advantages
flexi
of
time
a
work
flexi time
schedule
work
are
schedule
that it
are
helps
that
people
it
who
helps
have young
people who
children.
have young
Children.
children
It enables people
and enables
to
people
communicate.
to
I'm sorry.
communicate.
Okay, one more. The
Okay,
advantages
the
of a flexi
advantages of
time
a
work
flexi
schedule
time work
are
schedule
that it helps
are that
people
it helps
who
people
have young children.
who have young
It
children.
enables people.
It to enabling
It enables people,
it in
enables
it enable
people to
people
communicate,
to communicate,
commute outside rush
commute
hour.
outside rush hour.
Appointments with doctors
Appointment with
and
doctors
dentists are
and
easier
dentists
to
are
arrange,
easier to arrange,
etc.
etc.
When a company allows employees to work according to a flexi time policy, why are there normally certain core hours that everybody has to be working?
To be working.
When a company allows employees to work according to a flexi time policy, why are there normally certain core hours when everybody has to be working? When a
Working.
company
When a
allows
company
employees
allows
to work
employees
according
to
to
work
a flexi
according
time
to a
policy,
flexi time
there are
policy,
normally
there are
certain
normally
core hours
static 4
when
hours
everybody
when
has to be
everybody
working
has to be
so
working
that meetings
so that the
and
meetings
other group
and other
activities
group of
can
activities
take place.
can take place.
Very good. Okay, so now let's start with reading.
Okay, reading.
Very good. Okay, so reading is also at page 107. Last headword
Oh,
was report to start with tangible, intangible.
okay, tangible. Okay, tangible and intangible. Is the machinery in a factory a tangible asset or an intangible asset? The machinery